the reason why you stayed in the relationship you did was because you were a strong woman. Because everything you put your mind to, you went to school, you got straight A's, you came to America at the age of 18, you became an investor early on in your career, you're a vice president of operational due diligence at the age of 30, and then one thing in your life that you did not get right was your marriage. And you said to yourself, whatever I put my mind to, I'm going to succeed in it. And it just took you that long to realize it wasn't you. It was the other party.
Powerful, successful women that understand money, but also understand mental strength is not just pushing through and grit, actually understanding what you're going through. So I get to interview my personal investment manager here. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Edija Šaripova. I have been working with Christy for a few years now, and throughout our relationship we got to know each other more, and I naturally opened up to Christy because she's such a good professional as well. And I just told her a little bit more about myself, that my journey in life has had ups and downs. I came from Latvia originally, an immigrant, at the age of 18, put myself through school, got my accounting degree, and then went straight into investments. So I've been in the investment industry for over 24 years now. That's all I've done all my adult life. And we have been working together since 2020, something like that.
So the first question is, tell us about a time in your life where you wish you had more mental strength.
Yes, mental strength. I think it was about 7 years ago. I was going through a very rough divorce from a very abusive relationship. And at the same time, I also was working under very tight deadlines, high pressure environment at work.
Every woman now has their ears up, right? Like this is our life. Like we're trying to hold this career, but then something hits us hard.
And you have to perform.
You
have to perform. And if you are in the investment industry, especially, or engineering, or whichever industry you are in where it's predominantly males, you need to work that much harder sometimes to just be perceived at the same level as some of the males. And I'm just saying that in general in the investment industry, that's how it used to be, at least. And it was high pressure environments. I was going through my personal life as well, and I was keeping it all very closed in, and I didn't disclose that information to many people. So I think it was at least a month during that process that I was seeking refuge at work, or maybe it was my getaway for some way from the reality that was hitting me at home and from everything that I was going through at home. So it was this conflicting, never-ending, just push through, work harder, just do what you need to do. And to me, that was, at that time, I felt that was the mental strength, which little did I know. Little did I know that asking for help was actually what I had to do at that time. But I was pushing through it. So I wish I had more mental strength then.
So, and what shifted for you?
That was it. There were colleagues at work, ladies, that really came through for me. They recognized that something was going on in my personal life, where they started asking questions. And there was one particular individual that I spent probably hours in her office just crying and recognizing that it is okay to be weak in order to be strong. It is okay to ask for help. It is okay to ask for guidance from someone around you, that's even at work, even from the colleagues. And those are the ladies that really, really helped me.
And so when you say ask for help, because I think people know they can ask for help, but they don't know what to ask for, right? Like, no, your colleague at work can't fix your divorce, right? Like, what was something that you asked for and that actually made a difference?
So, twofold. One was sharing my story. Just recognizing that it's okay to be open and there's nothing to be ashamed of. Because my divorce was as a result from being very abused, physically and mentally abused. And I was in a fairly high level at an investment manager firm where I was embarrassed that I had let myself to that point where I was abused for many years, 6 years to be exact. I was married for 13 and 6 years were terrible. But I was embarrassed of that and recognizing there's nothing to be embarrassed about and opening up and telling your story. And all behold, these ladies come out and they tell me their story, right? And they're like, oh, that's what I went through. And all of a sudden we have this dialogue going and saying, okay, Edija, it's okay that you are making mistakes right now. Your brain is working overload. You don't even recognize how hard your brain is working. And asking for help, meaning give me grace. And giving myself grace also. Just recognizing it's okay.
Yeah, compassionate thinking, I talk about that a lot. And I think there's likely lots of women listening that know and are embarrassed, right? Like we always think, oh, you know, weak women get in situations where they get abused, or you know, they made certain decisions to get them there. And thank you for being vulnerable enough to like share that, because strong, powerful, smart women can get in that situation too. And the shame is what keeps our mouth closed.
Absolutely. And it's ingrained in our brain. When we were growing up, you had to be perfect. You had to be perfect at school. You had to be perfect. Your hair had to be perfect. Everything needed to be perfect. And how dare you bring your dirty laundry into public? That's something that we were ingrained with. And I think we are growing out of it at this day and age. And women are more open. But having that shame is something that really helped me just saying, okay, there's nothing to be ashamed of. And actually that lady that I worked with, she helped me with recognizing when you are a strong, the reason why you stayed in the relationship you did was because you were a strong woman. Because everything you put your mind to, you went to school, you got straight A's, you came to America at the age of 18, you became an investor early on in your career, you're a vice president of operational due diligence at the age of 30, and then one thing in your life that you did not get right was your marriage. And you said to yourself, whatever I put my mind to, I'm going to succeed in it. And it just took you that long to realize it wasn't you. It was the other party. And
we can't control other people.
No. Why?
We wish we could control other people, but we cannot control other people.
No.
So one of the things that I talk about in the Mentally Strong method is like untangling the enmeshment of what was going on with you, right? So if I show you, this is the book we use when we do the all-day Mentally Strong reset. So you come in identifying a problem, come up with your vision. This, a thought map is profound. Like you're able to do 20 years of journaling in 20 minutes.
Love it.
But then we start to organize things like triggers, grief, negative thoughts. How many women do you think have negative thoughts?
I think more than you know. More than you know. I think even that negative thought, I think the grief was one for me. That I didn't recognize that I had so much grief that I actually didn't allow myself to process. So when after
what was the grief specifically?
My father passed away when I was 11. I came to America when I was 18 years old.
So
my
grandparents,
your father, my culture, my grandparents, my grief of losing and just starting from scratch. There have been 3 times in my life that I had to start something from scratch.
Whew.
And that's a new chapter in your life. That's grieving that chapter. So I think a lot of it was, okay, just recognizing that and moving on.
Good for you.
Sorry, I
Good
interrupted.
No, well, that's perfect, because that's why, when we talk about these different categories, what happens is people have it all enmeshed. Your grief, like the next one is trauma, the trauma of being physically and emotionally abused, right? Like, we have to release that. And all the research says trauma held in the body is going to cause problems, and we have to learn how to release that trauma. But grief, you are allowed to, acknowledge that pain of losing your culture, losing your father, and we deal with them differently. We process them differently, because in this space we use the word process a lot. We're like, oh, we should process that, or and the reality is all these things should be processed differently, and that's why I have these 10 different categories. So did you ever seek professional help and work through the trauma?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was going through therapy once a week. I did EMDR.
Okay.
I felt it helped me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, in addition to that, I did acupuncture.
Okay.
I felt that helped me release a lot of emotions.
So, and you saw the documentary, so you know that I went through that whole thing, doing lots of different things. Something has got to work. Yeah.
And also, turning my mind to Stoic philosophy helped me a lot.
Yeah, so talk about that.
When you are in a place where you're going through a lot of turmoil and adversity, if you are not a very religious person to begin with, it is hard to look at God and be, okay, God has answers for me, and this is where I draw peace. Maybe now, 7 years later, I am in that place, and that's where I seek peace for me personally now.
Right, but when the pain is high, and there's a whole category on this, spiritual conflict. So you're actually sharing how you took this spiritual conflict, because you're like, no, God is not love, and God is not peace, and I don't feel these things right now. So tell us how you did that without, because you said Stoic philosophy is not really talking specifically about God, because I think a lot of people, because I've kind of done a 360, and I do use the word God again, and I do have a relationship with God, but some people don't want that. So tell us about this Stoic philosophy.
I think it's one of those philosophies that are very applicable in your life, very practical. It speaks about 3 different emotions: healthy, unhealthy, and irrelevant. The irrelevant are the ones that...
Healthy, unhealthy, okay, yep.
And irrelevant. Irrelevant is something where if I just do this, you blinked, that's irrelevant, because it's just that reaction that you have as a human being. It's just irrelevant. You get scared, you blush. It's irrelevant. Just throw it out the door. Who cares? It's irrelevant. Unhealthy emotion versus healthy is that the healthy emotion, for example, with grief, for me, it's completely healthy to go through the grieving process and cry and just mourn and do whatever, the processing that you need to do. That's healthy.
Yeah.
But Stoic philosophers will tell you, okay, is this healthy? Good. Is there something you can do about this? Is this in your control, within your control of doing it? Okay, I'm going to take a week or 2 or however long I need to do to process this. Okay, it's under my control. And then you set goals what you are going to do about it. If it's not under your control, Stoic philosophy will tell you, don't waste your time on it, because there's nothing you can do about it. You shouldn't waste your time on it. Unhealthy emotions are the ones where you get into the spiral. And it becomes a rhythm that is causing your physical unwellness. And again, I'm using grief as an example, and of course you're the expert. But you can use it with anything. Is this healthy, or anxiety for your day-to-day anxiety? Is this healthy anxiety, or is this unhealthy anxiety? And just always checking yourself, just having these checks. Just check yourself and be self-aware. And that's all that Stoic philosophy is all about. Just check yourself. Is it under your control?
So it's not specifically like a spiritual belief system?
No.
Okay.
It's not.
So for you, you needed to replace logic with spiritual at that time in your life.
Right. So it actually was introducing logic to your life, because Stoic philosophy is logical.
Right.
In and of itself. So for me, I just needed to go through, okay, this is what I need to do, and take one day at a time.
Yeah.
Then I also turned to more of a chakra massages is what I had gone through.
Okay.
That was very helpful for me. And I had my friends who were borderline witches, or they would call themselves witches, and they did all kinds of spiritual work with me as well. That helped me at that time. But I think everyone has their own journey in life.
Yeah.
Whatever helps you at that time, and if you're doing something, as long as it's healthy.
So that's the filter that you use now as you go and experiment with different things. You're like, is this healthy, unhealthy, or irrelevant?
Yes, that's exactly right.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Cool. Almost every woman I know, every woman I know, let me just be honest, has negative thoughts. What are the things that you struggle with?
What are the things? It's always the balance in your life. The struggle is pushing through versus recognizing patterns.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, you are supporting everything that I teach.
Good. Well, I'm trying to be as successful as I can, but recognizing on the negative thoughts. For example, I'm a financial advisor, as you know. This is the busiest season that we have, the tax season, and everything appears to be equally important to everyone. It's just saying, okay, negative thought, well, if I don't get this done, I'm going to get fired. If I don't get this done, the performance is not going to be as good. And these negative thoughts jump into my brain once in a while, where I check myself, is I remind myself.
What are the negative thoughts? Will you share those with us?
Yeah. Well, if I don't get this done by an email comes from a client, I need my form, or I need to have a discussion with you. And I'm trying to fit them within my calendar.
And what kind of person would you be if you didn't succeed there?
A person that is getting paid for their services and not being available to my clients when they need them.
What kind of person is that? There's a word that is a button for you. And I don't want to give it to you because I could be guessing, right? There's a word.
A failure. You're so good at what you do. I cannot fail.
If I were doing the Mentally Strong method with you, I would say, okay, I'm a failure. Like that is a thought that you struggle with. Like you try to get it out, right? If you were to rate that from a 0, like you don't believe it at all, to a 10, you honestly think you're a failure, where would you rate that?
It depends who asks me.
Dr. B is asking you.
Dr. B.
Yeah. I mean, and you can even share on a good day and a bad day, right? Because I have 2 numbers, right? I have a number that on a good day, I don't really believe it, maybe a 3. On a bad day, it might be a 6, 7, right?
6 being good or 6 being bad?
Like the higher the number, the
bigger of a...
Yeah, the worse it is, yeah.
The worse it is? I'd say for the most part, I feel good about what I'm doing. So I'd say it's around 4, 5.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty good. But every time I look at what I need to do and what I haven't done, it's being okay with chaos. And when I'm not okay with chaos is when I'm feeling it looks solid 7. Solid 7. I know I have to study for the financial planner exam. I'm not doing it because I always have my other priorities. But it's embracing the chaos is the hardest thing for, I think, a lot of women in any professional.
No, I do. And when we talk about negative thoughts, like, I think so often we're trying to get rid of them. And just like if I said to you right now, whatever you do, do not think about an elephant.
Oh, I'm thinking about that elephant.
Right? So when we tell ourselves, don't think you're a failure, don't think you're a failure, we're actually making it worse, right? Like, and so I always teach it as a continuum, right? If today you're at a 7, in the middle of that chaos, can you bring it down to a 6? Could you instead of I have to get rid of this, right? if you can bring down the energy behind it, it feels more manageable. Like you said, a 4, like usually that's fine. I get it. But to try to make it go away completely, we usually are feeding into it, and we don't realize that. So that's one of the things I teach about, like those negative things that come into our head.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I never thought about the negative thoughts for myself. I always focused on trauma or grief.
Yeah.
And the negative
well, and that's why we
is
put them into different categories, because all of them are having an impact on us. And when you have experienced trauma or grief, I mean, and most of us have it all like a mesh together. Like all of these things are all a mesh together, and we're trying to find one thing to fix it. And oftentimes we need to untangle it and say, okay, this is what I'm doing for my negative thoughts. This is what I'm doing for my anxiety. This is what I'm doing for my grief. This is what I'm doing for my trauma.
Okay.
It brings the chaos into clarity, right? And allows us to be authentically mentally strong, right? Mental strength is showing up when you don't feel like showing up, pushing through. Like, we all have to do that practically. But authentic mental strength has an underlayer of, I'm figuring it out, and I'm going to increase my capacity, and I'm going to grow, and I'm going to be very aware of how these things are impacting me and what I'm doing about them.
I love it.
Yeah. And one of the things that we always ask when we do this thought map in the beginning is, like, we put a thing here. So if you, what would you write here? Like, what do you struggle with the most right now? Fear, anxiety, sadness, depression? What's the thought or emotion or feeling that, like, comes to the surface a lot?
Overwhelming.
Okay.
Just being overwhelmed with
Yep.
everything.
Yep.
I think it's very common, and I'm trying to keep it together, and I feel like I have my rhythm in place.
And you've done a lot
there.
of work on in those different categories, right? You've done the work. The Mentally Strong method gives a structure behind some of the things you've already done. But when we do a thought map, we put that word overwhelm in here, and then we'll write down all the things that make us overwhelmed now. But one of the things that we ask is, when's the first time you felt overwhelmed? Like, in your childhood, when did this first show up?
Very good question. I'm a trained violinist as well since the early days.
Boy, you are a perfectionist. That takes perfection,
It's been drilled into me to be perfect, because when you're standing on that stage and you're playing Bach a cappella, there is no room for error. Yeah. And I feel that since the very early I have the stage fright, because it's been drilled into me, there is no room for error. Yeah. So I think that's where it was the earliest.
So it's that overwhelming feeling to perform.
Yes.
To be perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in music and a lot of like gymnastics and ballet, there's all of this, very stringent perfection that is that you got from very early age.
Try Soviet on top of it.
I'm sure. Well, tell us a little bit about your culture and how that shaped you. Like, because most Americans, we really don't understand. We think we do, but tell us a little bit about that growing up and how, it's continuing to show up as overwhelm, but how it shaped you.
So think back 80s. I was born in 82. The Soviets fell apart in late 80s. So for the first 10 years of my life, it was the Soviets. What does that mean? It means there's nothing belongs to you. Whatever you own, your house you live in, everything belongs to the state. So when I was growing up, it was not only that, but it also, in addition to that, I grew up in a family with two of my grandfathers. They both were pastors, and they were pastors for the Adventist church, which is Christian church, which was not recognized by the state. So when we were practicing our religion, we actually had to do it in secret, which meant you could not trust any of your neighbors. You could not show anybody that that's what you were doing in your family. So there was this immediate distrust and it wasn't just me, it's a lot of people that grew up in that environment. That's what they grew up with. You didn't trust your neighbor. It was always a handshake and then looking each other in the eyes, how the business deals were made. How do I know that? My parents were entrepreneurs. So there was always this, or we had a lot of money or we didn't have any. So there was constant just unease with the situation. So that's different in the Soviets as well. So everything you do can be tracked down by somebody. There's snitches everywhere. You have to be careful about what you did. And then on top of it,
so a lot of fear in your child.
A lot of fear.
A lot of, and are you still afraid? Like, do you see fear show up in your life now?
I don't think so. I think I've grown out of it. I've been in the States for 23 years. I mean,
well, I have fear, and I didn't. I didn't grow up under fear. So I'm wondering,
I think there's fear of failure.
Okay.
There is fear of losing the individuals around me, the community, the fear of rejection, the abandonment issues are real. That's right. I know my trigger emotions. I recognize those thanks to many hours of therapy. But I don't think I would be able to get there without therapy. I don't think I would be able to be there. But also on the flip side, community was huge when I was growing up, helping each other. There's just that feel of, okay, let me lend you a hand, let me do something to help you. And it wasn't an individualistic environment in which I grew up in, even though there was a lot of fear, but the community that you were a part of, you felt it, and it was extended family. And that to me is just an invaluable lessons that I could learn and pass on, hopefully, in my life.
Yeah. Awesome. So we talked a little bit about faith. You talked about your childhood, kind of not wanting to turn to faith when you were in the worst time in your life. How is it impacting you now? Does it give you strength? Are you still struggling in that area?
I would say to me, faith is all about your connection with something that's more powerful than anybody else on this planet. And as I said before, I went through the evolution of how I'm thinking, and that went through the universe is the all power. There is a channel of energy that's going through the universe, and to me, the universe is so abstract that to me it ended up being God. I went back to my childhood roots, and to me, it's familiar. Like, the same thing happened with me. Yeah, it's familiar. It's something that to me always brings back memory of just river, constant flow of life, and we are just the branches coming to the river and soaking in that energy and power. I love rivers. I'm like all about the moving water. Yes. The ocean, the rivers definitely draw me. Your Florida coming out. I know. Yes, and to me that's where I see, that's the ultimate to me is that inner peace. And going back, I think it goes hand in hand, Stoic philosophy and also faith. Because Stoic philosophy allows me to practice certain things, what's in my control, what is not in my control. And if it is not in my control, I let whoever the Almighty is, God take care of it for me. And have complete peace within me and just say, it's out of my control. Right. It got to happen the way it should. Yeah. And if some adversity comes, maybe there is a reason why I'm going through it. And that reason to me personally is helping other people. Yeah. And if I can go through it, I can relate to somebody. Maybe I can share my story. Maybe I can help them out with women who invest, the community that you are aware of. Yeah. Ultimately, hopefully, we'll have a foundation where we can help people, women, get out of bad situations that they are in and provide them with resources, women who are there to help them. So turning the negative into the good is the motto that I'm having right now in this stage in my life. Well, I love it, and that's, me too, right? Pain into purpose,
impact, all of those things. What do you think people misunderstand about mental strength?
I think it's sometimes stay strong. I don't like that phrase. What does that mean, stay strong?
Yeah.
You know, be strong. Well, I don't feel like being strong. I feel like crying. And it's okay to cry and process things. I think that is the most misunderstood thing. You don't need to be stoic.
The masculine version of mental strength is just that pushing through, like that, you know, comparative to physical strength. And we need to be gentle and compassionate, like you said, with yourself and others. Yeah. But especially with ourselves. I think we have no problem being compassionate with other people. We have a problem being compassionate with ourselves.
Someone told me this, and in the moment when I needed most, they said, give yourself grace. That phrase, give yourself grace, has helped me persevere, where you will go from surviving to thriving. That's another phrase that I have heard in my life. It's just allowing yourself to be weak. And it's okay. It's okay to take a day or two or however long you need to, 45 days, 46 days, or however long you need to. It's okay to do that in order to strengthen yourself and take it. And it's unapologetically making time for yourself and saying, I'm number one, because if I don't put that mask on myself first, I'm not going to be able to help anybody else. And that is just constant. I'm struggling with it. I'm still struggling with it, but it's constant practice that I'm trying to do in my life.
So what advice would you give someone, let's say a woman who's got a career, got all of these really successful things wrapped around her, and something like divorce happens?
Even better, if divorce is not there yet and she's not ready, she doesn't have the energy, because that energy is sucked out of her. And she already knows that she will have to go through this. And she's like, oh, I just don't have the energy to go through this. You can. And find support. Find support at work. Find support in, call Christy. Call me. Like, call any of the women that you know. And I say women because we tend to be caregivers and we tend to relate. And yes, if there are men, that's great. But mostly it's usually women. Don't be afraid to take that first step and know that you're not going to be judged. You're not going to be judged if you don't end up going through it. On average, it takes 7 times for women to leave and then come back before they actually leave for good, an abusive relationship. 50% of women know somebody, are currently or have been in an abusive, physically abusive relationship. 54%, over a half.
Wow.
That's a huge number. And a lot of them, half of those, they don't end up leaving for one reason or another. Mostly it's financially driven. And
which is why you're passionate about teaching women how to invest and take care of their finances.
There are resources out there. There are mediators that prepare you to leave a bad situation. I'm not saying everybody needs to get a divorce, but if you are one of those women that are listening to this and you know somebody, just reach out to them and tell them you're not going to judge. It's okay to stay in that relationship for as long as they need to before they decide to leave, but it's more troublesome not to talk about it with anyone and keeping it bubbled inside of you.
Because I think a lot of women are like, well, I told my friends and now they say I need to leave, but I'm scared to leave, I don't want to leave, so then they stop talking.
That's what happened to me. And I knew my friends would tell me, well, just leave. I went to a therapist who was Orthodox Jewish therapist who told me you need to break up your marriage. Think how bad it was for a therapist to say that, who is of that faith. And I knew that I had to break, but I wasn't ready. I didn't have the energy to do it. I just didn't have the energy to do it. But I wish I had talked to more women for self-defense. For even have somebody to be able to put them on a witness stand. I didn't have anybody who would come forward for me because nobody knew. So I just would encourage women to reach out and say, I'm not going to judge you. Or just be open and say, I don't need to hear for you to tell me that I need to leave. I know I need to leave. I just need to be able to talk to somebody about this.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Thank you. Last question is, what are you currently learning? Because we're all continuing on this journey. What are you currently learning?
I am currently learning that it is okay to set boundaries in regards to my time, to what I need to do for myself, for my personal growth.
Yeah.
That it's completely my clients will understand. If you need something tomorrow, tell me. Hey, it's okay for me to say, do you really need it tomorrow? Is it okay to wait a couple of extra days? And just pushing back on that. Because if you're thinking about very high level executives, really sought after service providers, we wouldn't expect them to be able to provide or take you into the office the next day or the 2 days. We would expect them to have a long waiting list.
Right.
And it's completely okay for a professional to say, okay, you know what, I don't need to just react to things. I need to be able to say, okay, wait a minute, where are my priorities at? And I need to address the priorities in which they need to stand. It's okay to respect your own block on your own calendar. You're laughing because you know exactly what I'm talking about.
You schedule time and then you're like, well, yeah, of course, you don't really have anything that time. Yeah. Good for you. Good for you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. That was really good.
That
was really good. Yeah. Thank you for watching. I'm Dr. B. I'm a psychiatric nurse practitioner with over 25 years of clinical experience. But as you've heard, I've actually had my own grief and trauma. I'd love for you to watch the documentary, which could come up next, but also I teach on mental strength. I not only have the professional credentials for that, but I've lived it and I continue to live it. So click the link in the description to learn about the Mentally Strong Method.